the meeting started, thank you. Thank you. It's right on 6:30, Wednesday the 10th of December 2025. Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I declare open this ordinary meeting of council for Wednesday the 10th of December 2025. This meeting is being held on the traditional lands of the Wadawurrung people. I acknowledge them as the traditional custodians and pay my respects to their elders past and present, and extend that respect to all members of our community. So, present and apologies. We will hear councillors here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, and any apologies?
No.
No apologies. Conflicts of interest. Councillors, I remind that their obligations under Section 130 of the Local Government Act of 2020. Do any councillors or officers have a conflict of interest to declare tonight?
Not at this stage.
No? Thank you. Item 4, leave of absence of councillors. There's none to report tonight. Item 5, public question time. 5.1, public question status update. Note there's no public questions are outstanding. I'll go to item 5.2, public questions. Now, we have, I think, a few public questions tonight. We'll just have a look and read it. The first question from Lou Stewart. Would you like to read your question out? Thank you.
Merry Christmas to you all. Everyone here. Here we are. We're just getting ready for the fun time of the year. As a sponsor of the Queenscliff Music Festival, the Borough of Queenscliff must be thrilled with the success of this year's festival. This is my preamble. Saturday was a sellout, and as many of you know, I live on Hesse Street. It was just a joy to watch people moving up and down Hesse Street and having a great time. There was music at a range of venues and there were lots of freebies. So the festival did its good thing as ever. Mayor Grigow, I understand that you are doing a survey of traders in relation to the festival. Would you please give us some detail about the survey and when the results will be made publicly available? Thank you.
Sure. Thank you for your question and for your ongoing support of the Queenscliff Music Festival. Yep. Council certainly recognises the strong community spirit and positive atmosphere the festival brings each year. While a sellout day is a great milestone, Council also measures success in many other ways, including how local businesses, residents and visitors experience the event, and whether the broader economic and community outcomes align with our strategic objectives. Importantly, Council's role is not limited to celebrations. We also need to understand what is working well and where improvements can be made. Mm-hmm. The trader survey I'm undertaking is designed to gather honest, direct feedback from our bricks and mortar businesses. In previous years, feedback was largely anecdotal. This year, we want to be a clearer, evidence-based understanding of how the festival impacts local trade, both positively and where there may be challenges. The survey simply asks traders to reflect on their experience so that council, festival organisers and business community can work together to strengthen outcomes for everyone. Once the responses have been collected and analysed, a summary of the findings will be made available so all businesses and community members are informed of the results and any opportunities for improvement. And again, thank you for your question.
Fantastic. That sounds really cool. Thank you, John.
Sorry.
Councillor Mayor.
Sorry. Public question number 2 from the PLCA. Here. Yep. No, thank you.
Would Council please confirm the expected finish date of the seawall repairs on the Point Lonsdale foreshore and therefore the intended date of installation of the toilets at the end of Lock Street, Point Lonsdale, for the summer season as advertised?
Thank you. All response from the Manager of Infrastructure and Environment, Stuart Hanson.
Good evening, Mayor Gregel and councillors. Thank you for your question. The seawall repair work is being managed by the Department of Energy, Environment and Climate Action, that's DECA. The latest report to council indicates that the repair work to the southern end of the seawall will be completed by 19th of December. Further maintenance work will be undertaken in the new year though, on some isolated areas where we've lost capping stones. The progress of DECA's work won't influence the scheduled placement of the temporary toilet placement at the end of Lock Street on the 15th of December, so on Monday. Thank you.
Public question number 3 from Ian Sharrock. Would you like me to read your question for you? No, it's just notes. Just this is public question time, and just we'll just have your question. All councillors and staff have read your preamble, so if you'd like to
I'll just
read your question. Yep.
Yes.
Thank you.
It's concerning the budget, the 2025-2026 budget, and I just wanted to express my disappointment to the budget. Little had changed from what we had seen in May earlier this year. At the meeting, and I was speaking, and a number of people expressed concerns about the staffing levels at the council, and there was an undertaking to undertake a review of staffing levels and provide feedback, I guess. It's noted that in 2006 there was about 28 FTEs, and probably if that were the case today, it would free up at least 1.5 million in revenue for us to spend on other works around the community. I also mentioned in my preamble here that advances in technology, particularly artificial intelligence, have now seen significant improvements in productivity.
Sorry to interrupt you, Stuart, but no, I'm sorry, Ian. Sorry, but can we get 2 questions?
Sure.
We have to go the program
It's
gets.
useful for the rest of us to hear
No, but
a bit of the preamble.
it's the questions are answered by the council.
Okay.
And we just
They're public
Like to-
questions.
Yeah. Big
And
question.
I
Yes,
have no
questions.
idea what he's saying. I don't always agree with him, but
it's all right. It's all right. We're here to answer. The council's here to answer.
Well, the question is, was the staffing review indicated in the May meeting undertaken? And if so, what were the findings? If those findings are available, can they be shared with the community? If it wasn't undertaken, why not? And will the council proceed with the review and share the results publicly? So that's my question.
CEO to answer this. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor, and thanks for the question, Ian. I haven't met you yet, but I intend to if you hang around after the meeting. So the task of undertaking the independent efficiency review has been allocated in the 25-26 budget. So I think that's the conversation you're referring to that happened in May. That's when the council would have determined to put money in the budget. So we're in that year now, and council have tasked me with progressing this initiative in the 25-26 financial year. So money was allocated in this year. One of my priorities from the council is to undertake that in my time here. So that'll happen this financial year.
And
So follow up.
part of the question, will that be shared with the public when it's available?
Well, that'll be up to the council, but if it's a budget item, generally it is, yes.
Yes, Ian. We'll endeavour to. All these items that sort of we spend would be answered and made public. So there won't be any. It's the idea of doing these studies actually to be able to make efficiencies and make them sort of known to the ratepayers. Thank you. Okay, public question number 4, Queenscliff Community Association. Yeah, so David, yep, sure. Question? Yep.
Happy to read out.
Yep, sure.
Welcome to Malcolm.
Yeah.
Open debating tonight, and also the preamble probably needs to have some explanation because it deals with the Connect system, which we don't know too much about, and why home with the traditional arborists were taken off the job, and we had no 2025 report on the Avenue of Honour.
So I'll read it, but councillors and the officers, have studied your preamble. But your question is, can current councillors provide a guarantee or endorse that council will review the above issues and undertake better address significant better address significant tree management processes, and as a part of the process, ensure decisions on the Avenue of Honour no longer become closed and non-transparent operational matters, but a fully transparent council decision-making processes that is widely published before the event with options to get second opinions on highly significant trees and vegetation. Sort of a call for the Manager of Infrastructure, Stuart Hanson, to answer.
Thank you for your question, David. Council's management of the Avenue of Honour has been highly transparent, involving extensive community consultation since 2015. The formation of a reference group, a consistent communication through public channels and roadside signage, the management approach for the avenue, which is maintaining the avenue while managing ageing trees and replanting when removal is necessary, has been clearly shared with the community for a decade. The strength of the tree management system lies in the structured processes, which is the annual arborist inspections, the formal maintenance program, the species-specific replacement strategies, and expert advice is secured through a compliant procurement process, which has formed a panel of level 5 arborists. Additionally, the Connect system provides robust oversight by recording the inspection histories, arborist recommendations and the actions taken, significantly enhancing the risk management and public safety. Thank you.
David, do you want a follow-up question on this topic, this question?
Yes. Thank you, Mayor Gregow and councillors. The system isn't very transparent when we find out that Homewood, who have been doing the traditional historic tree arborist reports, there's no evidence that they did it this year, and this system that's now been implemented is far from transparent when 2 or 3 days before trees are going to be removed, and that's publicised on Facebook.
Is that David, question? Yes. Follow-up question, please.
Well, takes issues that the response about transparency is certainly not there, and in terms of our concern, whether council will do something more than this system that's been explained tonight, have a far more transparent system and have a far more rigorous and risk approach in terms of the management to a significant avenue such as the Avenue of Honour. Thank you. So it's just basically whether councillors are going to do the job differently to what the officers have done.
I'll say I'll take an undertaking that we'll look at the current process and review it again to see, where, if there's any shortcomings and how we can always make for improvements.
Yeah. Well, I think it was an expensive process taking down 3 trees and having the highway cut off for 3 or 4 days too, without any knowledge or without any public permit system. So we'll leave it.
Yeah, we'll do a review on it.
Yep,
And we'll
thank you.
Get back to you. Thank you, David. You might as well. It's David, come back. Probably question number 5.
You can read that.
Okay, sure. Okay. Question 5. Will it be possible for the council to fully audit the Murray Road sale process and present a report detailing a fully activity statement and reconciliation on Murray Road and the total cost imposed on ratepayers as the $3.5 million sale proceeds may be significantly impaired? I call on the CEO to answer this question.
Thanks for the question, David, and through you, Mayor. So Council originally passed a resolution to sell Murray Road land in 2018, as most people in this room are probably aware, although the evaluation process had commenced well before that, some years, in fact 2012 and before. Following negotiations and settlements on outstanding matters very recently, Council is now in a position to table the overall income and costs incurred from 2018-19 onwards to the current day, including interest from the income earned from the sale proceeds. Council's finances are audited externally every year by the Auditor General of Victoria and published in our annual report, and the Victorian State Parliament annually as well. So there won't be an audited statement on the Murray Road, but there will be full and transparent figures presented to Council probably early next year.
Follow-up question, Dave?
Yes. Well, without the benefit of the preamble, which identified that we had a budget deficit under the LPGRF measure, 60%, and mention of the out-of-court settlement of $75,000, I think is fairly significant information to pass to the community as well. Thank you.
And that will all be included in the total.
Thank you. We've got public question number 6 from Trish Berry. Would you like me to read out your question? Okay.
Thank you, Mayor and councillors. I'm the chair of the Stop Campaign Committee, and I won't obviously read out the preamble, but I just would like to say that in the preamble there's 5 key points about the major concerns the community have in relation to this proposed development, and also that we know at this point in time there is no commitment by the City of Greater Geelong to proceed with the rezoning. So my question is, can the borough provide an update on the council's advocacy commitments and outcomes to date in relation to the Coles proposed developments? And can the Stop Coles Committee rely on the borough to continue to lobby at all levels of government to ensure that the strong shared community concerns are heard, acknowledged and responded to ensure that this proposed inappropriate development does not proceed?
So I've got a response from the CEO on this matter.
Thanks for your question, Trish, and through you, Mayor. So clearly, Council is aware of the concerns in the community about the potential development at 2341 to 2349 Ballerine Highway, Swan Bay. I will give a bit of a detailed answer because I got across it in the last few days as well since I've been here. As our community is aware, the borough is not the responsible authority for making the decision on any application on the land, as the site is located in City of Greater Geelong. But Council has previously and continues to represent the views of the community. Most recently, the immediate former Mayor, Councillor Rule, wrote to the Planning Minister on the 17th of September and to the Mayor of the City of Greater Geelong the day before, expressing concerns with the development proposal. We have been assured by a response from the Minister about 1 month later that DTP, so Department of Transport and Planning officers, will seek to engage with Council and other key stakeholders through the process. We've been further advised that should the proposal be deemed eligible for consideration by the Development Facilitation Program, so that's a state government thingy, you're probably all aware of that, and a planning permit application is actually submitted, we've been given assurances of the public notices, the formal statutory referrals, and of course people being able to put submissions in under the City of Greater Geelong planning scheme. That hasn't occurred at this point in time, so it's not a live application, but it is a proposal, obviously, that's been around that you all know about. All planning permit applications submitted to DTP are assessed on their merits against the relevant planning policy. The community may also be aware that the borough considered a report on the 15th of September to request COG to initiate a planning scheme amendment to rezone the land to a special use scheme, which was made in response to Council and the community concern over the proposed development and the zoning that's currently there that allows such a proposal to be considered. Council will continue to advocate and work on supporting our communities through the process.
Trish, a follow-up question?
Yes, is that a
across all levels of government, or primarily just with the 2 levels of government?
I guess that the Mayor and the councillors could answer as well, Trish, but from a technical perspective, the ones making the decision are the state government in the end through DTP. So they're the influencers. Federal government has no jurisdiction at all, and obviously
there is. I know that you're new to this, but it's in relation to the Ramsar recommendation of extending the Ramsar boundaries, and that decision to approve that rests with the Federal Minister for Environment. So there is capacity, if the Ramsar areas are approved, then that adds additional weight to the reason why the development shouldn't go ahead.
Absolutely, yeah, I am aware of it as well. Yes, I thank you. But I guess that the main influence that the borough can do at the moment, particularly, is with the state and with the City of Greater Geelong, with being the planning authority who will do it. But of course, the federal government and council can resolve to work with the federal government on that Ramsar as well.
Through you, Mayor, could I just add, and Michael, you probably haven't seen this, but we did also write to Minister Watt to support the state government's referral of Lakers Cutting as being part of that Ramsar site. I'm not sure of the date, I can't remember, sorry.
I'll follow that up, Councillor Rule, but yeah, I did research the last couple of days, but I didn't come across that one.
Can I move a motion now? Sorry, that's a point of order and a governance query. No.
No, there's no motions for a public question. Do you have some?
That's right. If I do, it's okay.
Sure, okay. You got item 6, confirmation of minutes of previous meetings. Now we have the move the confirmation of the minutes. So there is a recommendation that the minutes of the ordinary council meeting on the 26th of November 2025, as distributed, be confirmed as a accurate record. Do I have a mover?
Yes.
Yes, Councillor Rule. Do I have a seconder? Councillor Cameron. Those in favour? Good. Passed, all agreed. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see, how was it? 6.2, ordinary council meeting on the 26th of November 2025, confidential minutes. Do I have a mover?
Yes, Councillor Rule.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Monaghan. Those in favour? Passed unanimously. Thank you. Item 7. The record of informal meetings of councillors. Recommendation is from that the record of informal meetings of councillors as presented in adjunct to the item 7 be noted. Do I have a mover?
Yes, Councillor Rule.
And do I have a seconder? Councillor Tolhurst. All those in favour? Motion carried. Thank you. Item 8, notice of motion 8.1. 8.1, notice of motion status updates. There's nothing. I have note that there's no notice of motion that are outstanding, so that the notice of motion status update be noted. Do I have a mover?
Yes, Councillor Rule.
Councillor Rule, thank you. And seconder? Councillor Tolhurst. All in favour? Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 8.2, motions on notice. There's no motions on, no notices on motion were received. We'll go to next item. So item 9, petitions and joint letters. None received. Thank you. We'll move to the next item. Item 10, functions attended. Have a any questions before we put the recommendation?
Could I just make some changes, please? For the meeting on the 25th of November, I also attended the Neighbourhood Battery, and Councillor Grigau, I believe you attended that as well. Thank you.
Councillor Cameron, are there any updates or do you have any questions regarding this item? Thank you.
find the item.
While you're waiting, then Councillor
Yep,
Tolhurst.
keep going.
Councillor Monahan, is that waiting on you, Councillor Cameron?
Yes, I'm back. On the 23rd of November, just a question in regards for Councillor Tolhurst, was the Reconciliation Queenscliff Where To From Here talk. I was just wondering what was the content of that meeting. Oh no, I'm just curious because I'm just, well, I suppose I just... Thank you.
Okay, we have a...
I move that the functions attended with the alterations included be received.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Monahan. All those in favour? Passed unanimously, thank you. Item 11, the Chief Executive Officer. There's a item 11.1, Acting CEO Report, December 2025. Do we have any questions to ask regarding this item? Councillor Monahan? Councillor Tolhurst? Councillor Cameron? Councillor Rule?
I just had a query, and that was regarding the community consultation on off-leash dog areas. It does say over 340 residents participated. We don't know if they were residents of the borough, so it was just over 340 people participated. So I just wanted to be clear on that.
Noted. Would you like to reply?
Noted, Councillor, and we'll make sure that's recorded. Thank you.
Thank you.
No problem, thank you. So I have a recommendation that Council receives the Acting CEO report for December 2025 and 2, determines the Council presentation of the Community Service Awards Reference Group. Do I have a mover?
Yes, Councillor Rill.
Do I have a seconder? Councillor Monahan. I'd actually like to put this on the table. So do we have nominations for the reference group? So it's
Yes.
so it's,
All right. I'd like to
if you like to
propose Councillor Monahan
as the person to represent the council for the reference group.
Yes.
Do I have a seconder? Yes. Do you accept the nomination? Thank you. Are there any other person who'd like to nominate? No? So all those in favour? Carried unanimously. Congratulations, Mr. Councillor Monahan, to be representing another community group for the council. Item 12.
Do we have to pass that motion?
Yes, we did. We voted, yes. Thank you. Item 12, Building the Borough. Item 12.1, the Planning Permit Activity Report. Do we have any questions from councillors? Would you like to speak to the officers regarding this item? Councillor Monahan? Councillor Tolhurst? Councillor Cameron? Councillor Rule? That's right. Right, thank you. That's we've got a recommendation that the Planning Permit Activity Report be received. Do we have a mover?
I move that, Councillor Rule.
Do we have a seconder?
Yes.
Councillor Cameron, thank you. All those in favour? Carried unanimously, thank you. Item 13, running of the borough. Item 13.1, Building Asset Management Plan of 2025 to 2035. Now, call on the manager, Stuart Hanson, to give a brief summary of the item, and we will follow up with questions from councillors. Thank you.
Thank you, Mayor Gregao. I'll take the report as read, but provide a little bit of an overview, the context of the Building Asset Management Plan. You will recall in October, Council adopted an asset plan. The asset plan, along with the asset policy, sits over our asset management systems and procedures. What will happen now, beneath that asset plan, is we'll present to you a series of asset class specific building asset class specific asset management plans. So tonight we've got the building asset management plan, and what it is, it's a 10-year strategy that looks at our building assets. We've got 52 building assets in our stock. It looks at the condition of those, the investment that we've put into those, and it speaks to the modelling we've undertaken in the background on a network level about what we project the investment required to go into these buildings to maintain them in the condition that we'd like them to be in. So the asset management plan, the building asset management plan is a good news story. What it says is, firstly, it's reviewed 4 yearly along with our valuation cycle and condition assessments. What it says this time is it's recommending that we increase our annual renewal effort by $35,000 on our buildings. So currently it's $200,000 on average a year, and we're saying let's increase this to $235,000. So I guess the analogy I have is every 4 years we do the valuation and condition assessments, and it's an opportunity to steer the ship. So this is the course correction. For the next 4 years, we'll set a direction. We'll look at this again in 4 years and see how we sit. So the course correction of $35,000 a year to maintain our assets at the level of service is probably a fairly positive outcome.
Excellent, thank you. Councillor Monaghan, do you have any questions?
Yes, I do. Stu, just with the Top H toilets, the replacement value was $97,000, and obviously the tender's gone out, which is confidential, but the tender price is a fair bit more than that. So how do you explain that?
So project budget for the Top H toilet project is $180,000. That's within the budget and public knowledge. The valuation process requires us to not consider site preparation and removal of existing buildings. So the project cost does need to include that. There's inevitably an element of upgrade to our renewal project at the Top H, being that it's an old building, it doesn't meet current day standards, so it makes sense that there's an element of upgrade. So we're probably talking 80% renewal to 10% upgrade. So that adds additional cost. And of course, that will include a little bit of cleaning up around the building path, connection paths, etc. So it doesn't, all the costs that are within budget don't actually directly relate to renewal component. Does that answer the question? Thank you.
Any further questions? Councillor Tolhurst, yes, please.
Thanks, Stu. My questions are related to the building-specific service plan. So the org is taking on a whole lot of more mature, I suppose, or contemporary service planning. How does that intersect with assessment of buildings, and how do you prioritise particular building service plans over others?
It's a good question. So I think we'd look at... So firstly, a service plan is integral really to understanding the service that council wants to provide. So the reason we have assets is primarily to support the services that we provide. So ultimately, the service plan determines what the outcome or what we're providing to the community and the mode that we're providing it. So potentially, if we take an example, I'm trying to think of one now without creating a story. An example we were speaking about in terms of a maternal child health service. So if we have a service plan for that, council might say we need to build a building and employ staff and deliver this service. Alternately, a way of providing that service would be to outsource. It might be to outsource the staffing, it might be to outsource the staffing in the building. So that then, the service plan is really integral to feed into our asset management planning. So asset management planning, service planning goes hand in hand. And it's a bit of a read-reef process. So as we review one, we review the other. It's a constant moving feast, and that happens across obviously all our asset classes. Sorry, does that address the?
And then I guess is the prioritisation piece is both advice from officers and councillor decisions on the areas they want to focus on by way of that planning?
Yeah, absolutely. So part of the service planning is understanding the criticality of the service.
Yeah.
And that speaks to the prioritisation of each service.
Great, thank you. And then my other question was around, I noticed the Aboriginal Heritage Act 2006 isn't referenced as relevant legislation. I suppose the question is it relevant and should it be included?
It's certainly relevant in practice when a building's removed and replaced. In theory, for a renewal plan, if we're in the perfect world, we renew a building that exists with exactly the same building on the same footprint. Technically, it doesn't trigger a need for a cultural heritage management plan or a cultural permit. So probably the answer to that is in theory, no. In practice, with exactly the same scenario that we spoke about with Councillor Monaghan, there'd be an element of upgrade, an element of breaking new ground, then yes.
No further questions, Councillor Tolhurst? Okay, thank you. Councillor Cameron?
No, thank you.
Councillor Rule?
Would it be possible for us to see a list of priorities of these buildings so that we can see, I think it was 0.44 of in poor condition, but which are?
Yeah, absolutely. We can. So the next piece of work that follows on with this, we've got the asset plan that oversees this, or the umbrella of the asset management plans. And what falls out of the asset management plans is it'll be a 4-year works program. So that's one thing that we provided as next steps to this. In addition, we're happy to provide a document there that summarises the condition data, which is, I think, is what you're asking for there as well.
Thank you.
Thank you. I just have one question relating to heritage assets. So how does the plan account for the higher cost of maintaining heritage buildings?
So the valuations, basically at the valuation stage. So when we do the valuations for a value is based on a square metre rate that we obtained from Rawlinson's construction manual. The construction manual takes into account all the data from projects that have been undertaken over the previous year, etc. When we come to heritage buildings, we identify those buildings so that wouldn't necessarily be replaced with the current day materials and look, and we apply an additional rate or indice to those rates to reflect that that building will be a higher cost to renew compared to a more generic building. So a good example would be the town hall. We could replace the town hall with a building of modern structure that provides the same service, the space available, the stage, at a price, but to do it at a double skin brick in the style that it's currently constructed would have a premium price on that. So we apply an indice to reflect that. That valuation then travels through our modelling and informs the annual renewal demand.
Thank you. So are there any other further questions?
Yeah, I've got one more. Sort of relatedly, it's a 10-year document, and then we've got reviews every 4 years, and we've talked about the value or the valuation cost. Forgive me if that's not the right terminology, but reflecting the current footprint of the various buildings and the current usage, noting that doesn't account for any improvements. What if in the 4-year periods or review cycle the usage changes?
So the usage of the building or...
Yeah, the usage of the building.
So if the usage of the building doesn't change the fundamental need or what the building provides, little, but if your service that you're requiring from the building dramatically requires a different set of assets within that building, whether it be different wet rooms or whatever that might be, that will need to be consideration of council through the budget process. So, clearly that impacts the longer term modelling, and simply you would make that decision as an investment through a council meeting. We'd incorporate that within the long-term financial plan, so that's not lost. And when we remodel, we'll have that course correction in 4 years' time.
Thank you. So can I call on a councillor to put a motion or to take on the recommendation? Yes, sure.
Grigor, I'd like to move that the Buildings Asset Management Plan 2025 to 2035 be adopted subject to the following changes. That's the inclusion of the Aboriginal Heritage Act 2006 in the legislation section of the document, and subject to a final edit to rectify any spelling and data errors, at a minimum those identified on pages 31 and 32.
Do I have a seconder?
Yes, Councillor Rule.
Councillor Rule. So I open this up for debate. Councillor Monahan? Sorry, I have to be Councillor Tolhurst, mover. Can you like to?
Thank you, Councillor Grigor. I don't need to speak to the motion.
Councillor.
No, thank you.
Thank you. I'll have a quick word. I think this report represents council long-term strategy for maintaining and renewing our portfolio of 52 buildings. Assets valued at just under $33 million. The plan is built on independent condition assessments completed earlier this year, and it outlines the funding levels required to keep our buildings safe, functional and in line with the community expectations. So I commend the motion from Councillor Tolhurst, and I fully support and I encourage my fellow councillors to carry this motion through. Thank you. I put this to a vote. So all those in favour? Thank you. Carried unanimously. Thank you. Item 14, questions without notice. 14.1, status update. There's no outstanding questions without notice.
Sorry, just a query back on 13.1. The second part of the recommendation wasn't included in Councillor Tolhurst's motion, was it?
The editing?
Yeah, but the second part was committing to allocating the building renewal funding of $235,000. If not, can I move that second part of the recommendation?
Okay, you probably have to put another motion to pass.
Well, that is my motion.
Okay, do I have a seconder? Yes. Councillor Cameron. All those in favour? Thank you. Carried unanimously. Thank you. Councillor Tolhurst? No? Right. Running off script. All right, thank you. Question 14.2, back on track. Questions without notice. Are there any questions without notice? Yes, Councillor Tolhurst.
Councillor Grigor. Yes. My question is for the CEO, acting CEO, and I'm conscious you're new in the chair, so happy for it to be taken on notice, but essentially an update. The borough has been working to get the state government and the Victorian Education Department to re-examine how we do our kinder infrastructure services planning to reflect demand and the fact that we are a community that, a municipality that serves a community outside our borders. And I just wonder if you were across any updates on those conversations or the planning document itself.
Not specific, through you, Mayor, not specifically for here, Councillor Tolhurst, and I'll look to my colleagues. Nothing coming, but maybe from Tim. But more broadly, just before Tim does potentially, so the Kinders on School sites, so the KISS program, very popular, and government's committed to rolling it out. I guess it's a case that gets put forward by the community for the kinder, and then the willingness of the school, because it's sometimes a bit of a tension to have the kinder on the school site, particularly if the sites haven't been allowed for, because most primary schools, for example, are 3.5 hectares if they were smaller because of the demographic that we had or the land supply that was around. So there are some challenges with it, but I know the government's committed to it. But I think Mr Crawford was going to say something over there, so he might be able to help.
The only recent correspondence I've seen, Councillor told us, is that the Victorian School Building Authority are doing some engagement with Woodnightdale Primary School just around investigation of a kinder site here. So that's sort of in the early stages in terms of investigating that site.
That's great additional info. My question though relates to the KISP, the planning document, because I know we were trying to, we were advocating to get the data recast or remodelled to reflect that we have lots of people coming to our kinders, and that while our projections show there will be no demand for the kinders and childcares it's kinder specific, kinders in the borough, we know that that's not the case. So there was some discussion about working with the state and the VSBA to consider anecdotal data which reflected the reality that our kinder services are at capacity.
I'll certainly take that component on notice, Councillor Tolhurst, and get back to the council.
Thank you. There's no further questions without notice. No, thank you. Item 15, list of council meetings. The planning review meeting, Wednesday the 14th of January 2026, is planned at 6:30 if required. Ordinary meetings, the next ordinary meeting of council will be the Wednesday the 28th of January 2026 at 6:30 at here at Ring Ring, the Queenscliff Hub. So sort of item 16, close of meeting, there being no further business, so I declare the business closed. Do I have a mover? So, Councillor, get my hand. I don't know. No, okay, cool. So, well, I declare that the meeting closed. And I wish everybody a very good Christmas. Be safe, and I hope to see you in the new year. Thank you.
That's a power that you have.